The seeds of the Trojan War were sown at the wedding of Peleus and Thetis on Mount Olympus. Peleus, a mortal man, and Thetis, a sea goddess, had a grand wedding attended by the gods and goddesses. However, the goddess of discord, Eris, was not invited. This exclusion enraged Eris, and in revenge, she threw a golden apple inscribed with "To the fairest" into the gathering. This apple leads to a fierce rivalry among the most powerful goddesses of Olympus, Hera, Athena, and Aphrodite. Each one believes she deserves the apple and strives to prove that she is the most beautiful. This situation puts Zeus in a difficult position, as he does not want to take sides among the goddesses. Instead, he assigns the young Trojan prince Paris to make this challenging decision. Paris is the son of King Priam and Queen Hecuba of Troy. A prophecy foretells that Paris will cause the destruction of Troy, so he is abandoned on a mountain shortly after birth. However, he is found and raised by a shepherd. Years later, Paris's true identity is revealed, and he returns to Troy. It is at this moment that he is forced to make a decision between the goddesses. Each goddess offers Paris a bribe. Hera promises him a great kingdom and unlimited power. Athena offers wisdom and victory in battle. Aphrodite, however, offers him the most beautiful woman in the world, Helen, as his wife. Paris, captivated by the allure of love, chooses Aphrodite. This choice reverberates not only on Mount Olympus but also across the world. Helen is the wife of King Menelaus of Sparta and is known as the most beautiful woman in the world. With Aphrodite's help, Paris travels to Sparta and makes Helen fall in love with him. Helen abandons her husband and flees to Troy with Paris. This event drives Menelaus into a furious rage, and he considers Helen's abduction a matter of honor. Menelaus seeks help from his brother Agamemnon. Agamemnon is one of the most powerful kings of Greece, and he gathers the other Greek kings to retrieve Helen. This leads to the launching of a massive army towards Troy. These events set in motion the bloody 10-year struggle of the Trojan War. When the Greek army reaches the shores of Troy, the city is well fortified and strong. Troy is led by Priam, while his son Hector emerges as the greatest hero of the Trojan army. Hector takes on the responsibility of defending Troy and protecting his family. In the early years of the war, the Greek army struggles to breach the walls of Troy. Troy's strong defenses put the Greeks at a standstill. During this time, the gods constantly intervene in the war. Athena provides the Greeks with tactical advantages, while Apollo and Aphrodite assist the Trojans. These divine interventions keep the war in a state of constant balance. One of the most important characters in the Trojan War is Achilles. It is foretold by his mother Thetis that he will achieve great victories in the war but will die young. Achilles is the strongest warrior of the Greeks and is seen as the one who will determine the course of the war. However, a conflict arises between Agamemnon and Achilles. Agamemnon forcibly takes Briseis, whom Achilles had claimed as a prize of war. This enrages Achilles, leading him to withdraw from the battle. Achilles' absence weakens the Greek army, allowing the Trojans to gain the upper hand in the war. Achilles' closest friend, Patroclus, seeing the Greek army in dire straits, decides to wear Achilles' armor and fight in his place. Patroclus, fighting like Achilles, pushes the Trojans back but is ultimately killed by Hector. Patroclus' death deeply shakes Achilles and reignites his fury. This event leads Achilles to return to battle, now with a single purpose: to avenge Patroclus and kill Hector. Achilles challenges Hector to a duel in front of the walls of Troy. This duel is one of the most dramatic moments of the Trojan War. Hector fights for his family and city, while Achilles is driven by anger and revenge. This clash between the two great warriors is considered one of the most famous duels in human history. Achilles kills Hector and drags his body around the walls of Troy. This act causes great suffering for Hector's family and the people of Troy. However, with the intervention of the gods, Achilles is compelled to return Hector's body. Priam then retrieves his son's body and honors it with a proper burial. By the 10th year of the Trojan War, the Greeks devise a cunning plan to defeat the Trojans. The Trojan horse, designed with the ingenuity of Odysseus, becomes a legendary strategy that changes the course of the war. The Greeks build a massive wooden horse and hide their best warriors inside it. Meanwhile, the Greek army pretends to retreat, leaving the horse as a supposed gift for the Trojans. The Trojans believe that the Greeks have abandoned the war and that the horse is a victory offering, so they bring it into the city. However, when night falls, the Greek warriors hidden inside the horse emerge and open the city gates. This leads to the fall of Troy. The city is razed to the ground, its people are slaughtered or taken captive. The fall of Troy results in a Greek victory, but it comes at a great cost. Menelaus retrieves Helen and returns to Greece. However, some surviving Trojans, particularly Aeneas, set out to start a new life. Aeneas's journey inspired the Roman poet Virgil's epic, the Aeneid, which tells the story of the founding of Rome and the legend that followed. The end of the Trojan War symbolizes not only the fall of a city but also the end of a civilization and the birth of a new one. The Trojan War remains one of the greatest and most impactful stories in Greek mythology. This epic not only portrays the brutality of war but also the resilience of the human spirit, the whims of the gods, and the inevitability of fate. The mythology of Troy is one of the deepest and most complex stories in human history. This epic continues to be told as a tale filled with heroism, betrayal, love, rage, and tragedy. The Trojan War is not just a historical event but also an opportunity to deeply reflect on the universal themes of humanity.